You know, some of the world's greatest natural playgrounds can be found in Ontario, Canada. Hi, I'm Bill Baker. In this edition of Ride to Adventure, we've come north of the border to the Canadian province of Ontario to explore another one of BF Goodrich's outstanding trails. This one, the Quinn Lakes Trail near Calabogie, Ontario, about 2 hours from Ottawa. Our hosts are members of the 30-year-old Ottawa Valley Off-Roaders who maintain the trail. They're just coming to life this morning after a tough day of off-roading yesterday and a night spent under the stars at their favorite campground.
The camp was slowly coming alive to the sound of loons calling, something I rarely hear here in Orange County, California. The free donuts provided by the Goodrich folks and a cup of coffee seemed like the priority of the moment.
Not surprised though, I like it. Yeah.
It was back in 1977 when a small group of guys got together and formed a club dedicated to their favorite activity, off-roading. Now celebrating over 25 years of fun on the trails, the Ottawa Valley Off-Roaders are still strong and growing. The oldest and most established Ottawa area club still keeps to the same simple values that it started with. Have fun, keep it simple, learn from others, and pass that learning on to future members. Quinn Trail is located near Ottawa in Ontario, Canada. There are two ways to get to Quinn Lake. Stock rigs take the front door, which consists of dirt, mud, tight turns, and some blind elevations. Those looking for a more serious challenge will take the back door to Quinn Lake. Its large rock formations, steep hills, and rocky creek beds make for a great challenge. Launched in 2006, the Outstanding Trails program is dedicated to the responsible use and preservation of off-road trails while providing aid in the trail's conservation efforts. BF Goodrich Tires, in collaboration with Tread Lightly and United Four-Wheel Drive Associations, named 6 such trails in 2008. Black Cat at Superstition Mountain, California, Blacktail in the Wild Bill National Recreation Area, Montana, Iron Range in northern Minnesota, Pritchett Canyon near Moab, Utah, Beasley Knob in Georgia, and Quinn Trail in Ontario, Canada.
The trail itself is about 12 miles long. Generally takes 3 to 4 hours, with a larger group more so. We've been running the trail for about 25 years, keeping it clean, working with the M&R, cleaning up after other users, and in the spring we come out and clean up a lot of the dead wood and trees that are down across the trail.
Is there a lot of off-roading opportunity in Canada?
I think, like the States, we're losing as much as we're gaining. I think a lot of the main trails like this that have been around for a long time, I think we can keep, hopefully, as long as we use it correctly and not overuse it. And I think that's one of the things that we strive for in Ottawa, that we have a good enough trail system that we only run trails 1, 2, 3 times a year, opposed to the same every weekend over and over and over. And that's where we start losing things. We get overuse.
John, one of the partners in the Outstanding Trails program is Tread Lightly, and I understand that you're trying to get that reinvigorated here in Canada.
Yep, it's been out of Canada for over 6 years now, and we think it's time to bring it back to Canada. I mean, we've all lived by the philosophy of Tread Lightly, but I think we now have to take the step and bring it back and re-educate the new users that aren't using it right now. So it's educating the user to stay on the trails and to use them wisely, and to teach each other how to use the vehicles, how to not tear things up.
The major obstacles on Quinn have names that are burned in the minds of their challengers. Piton, Two-Step, a 4-foot vertical climb, Slick Rock, with its 8-degree elevation and 45-degree angle,
We have a lot of mud. We've had a lot of rain this year, so the trail is a little bit more muddier than most years. This time of year, generally in August, it's a cakewalk. It's usually fairly dry, but this year's abnormal.
We found a little mud hole, and well, we went in it, so got a little dirty. I'm gonna have to get someone to clean my Jeep. Maybe these guys will clean it for me.
The folks at Chrysler Jeep Canada kindly loaned us a couple of 4-door Wrangler Rubicon Unlimiteds. These are very capable off-roaders right off the showroom floor. But no matter how good the vehicle and tires are, driver skill and the conditions of the moment always determine whether you'll get through an obstacle or not, at least on the first try.
Having somebody to spot you through the rocks here on Quinn Lakes Trail near Calabogie, Ontario is really important. We'll be back with more right. Welcome back to the BF Goodrich Outstanding Trail here in Calabogie, Ontario. I'm riding along in Mud Light. This is a four-wheeler that is a combination of a Samurai, a Jeep, a Chevrolet, and who knows what. One thing is consistent. The mudguard has been on a lot of vehicles over 20 years. Your club members have a variety of vehicles that they're using.
Anything from stock Samurais to truggies and buggies and full-size trucks. We're probably 45% Suzuki, 45% Jeep, and the rest is made up of G-Wagons and other vehicles.
As we've attended various Outstanding Trails events, we've been struck with the variety of off-road vehicles we've encountered and the amazing mechanical skills of their owners. Depending upon the terrain where they're being used, vehicles tend to be designed for local conditions. There are very capable off-roaders that started life as modest Suzuki Samurais. There are, of course, a lot of Jeeps because there are plenty of parts and accessories available for them. Then there are the home-built buggies, some with engines in the front, some with engines in the back, some with 2 seats, and some with room for the kids and a week's worth of food. Some are works in progress, and some look like they escaped from the set of Blade Runner or The Matrix. Whatever the vehicle, everyone involved in the sport has a good time and is only too willing to jump in and help a buddy when something goes wrong. And one thing's for sure, four-wheel drive vehicles are not submarines. Let's watch as the driver of this Wrangler tries to get across. Well, here's a tip. If you've ever been in a swimming pool, you know you can walk through the water much faster than if you try to run through it. Same principle applies to four-wheeling. You need to go fast enough to create a small bow wave, but slow enough not to cause the water to splash into the engine compartment or air intake. What our friend didn't seem to know was that there was a rock step hidden under the water as well.
That's a lot of water, man. That really is.
So what's the assessment?
The water box is full, or the air box is completely full, so I'm hoping my engine's not destroyed.
Well, I tell you, sliding around in the mud is what it's all about. You need locking front and rear differentials and, of course, a locking center differential, plenty of ground clearance, and good mud terrain tires with very low inflation to help you conform the tire to the obstacles. And there are plenty of them here on the Quinn Lakes Trail in Ontario.
The terrain here was steep and dominated by a sharply slanted rock face that was pretty tricky to navigate. Watching with interest from the sidelines was Kevin Metz, the Jeep National Brand Manager who likes to get into the field to see how enthusiasts use his products.
I'm very fortunate because long before I was a marketing brand manager, I was very much into four-wheeling on my own, and actually have an 85 CJ7 that I built up and have four-wheeled all over the country. So I consider myself luckiest brand manager in the world. So.
Yeah, it's neat to be able to indulge your hobby with your vocation, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't get any better than this.
It's one thing to watch what's happening, but I wondered how much influence customers have on future products.
More than any product in the industry, we listen to our customers. We listen to them at events like this. We have Camp Jeep we've been doing for about 15 years now, where we sit down, we bring our engineers in to talk to our customers. We sponsor web forums, listen to our customers. We absolutely take all the feedback that we can get.
Well, we've come through a really rough patch with the price of oil going up and people putting their big SUVs parking and putting them up on blocks. What is the future going to be for four-wheel drive?
Well, you know, Jeep's been doing this for including the military Jeep, 67 years now, and we've been through tough times before and fuel crunches before, and the one constant that remains is that people want to get out and enjoy the outdoors. Jeep allows them to do that. We don't see this market going away anytime soon. As the rest of the industry maybe shies away from this kind of thing, we'll get back to where it's just Jeep again. Jeep's all about getting people out to enjoy the outdoors and not tear up nature, and so we think responsible four-wheeling is an important part of what we do.
It's been a great trail so far. We're about halfway through, and you can see why this was chosen as an outstanding trail.
I think it's neat that both, this is really a North American award rather than just a U.S. award.
Absolutely. We came to Canada for the first time last year, and so we decided that it was such a success last year, we would look for a trail again this year, and judging from what I see today, I can tell you we'll be probably back next year, definitely.
Oh, good. Were there a lot of applicants from Canada?
We work through United Four-Wheel Drive Associations to look at a lot of trails, and so there was a lot of trails to judge from, and Quinn Lakes just kind of rose to the top.
The Quinn Lakes Trail is about 10 miles long and has one area that riders always use for their lunch stop. It overlooks Quinn Lake, appropriately enough. We took advantage of the break to ask Club President John Farley about the trail.
Can a stock vehicle do the whole trail? Looked to me like it would have been tough for.
The Rubicon's making it through. Stock vehicles with 31 or 32-inch tires, depending on wheelbase. A full size on 31s might have some difficulty, but a small, short wheelbase with 31s wouldn't have that much of a problem with it.
Meanwhile, back at the swamp,
Make sure all your plugs have that kind of crap off them. Do you have a wire brush or
Nothing to tell us.
Well, that is one hurting little red Wrangler. He has drowned the engine. And I've got to take our Wrangler Rubicon Limited across next. To see how we do, come back after the break.
stock vehicles with 31-inch tires can make it through Quinn Lakes, but be sure to have a spotter and a friend with a tow strap.
The Quinn Lake trailheads are about a 5-hour drive from Toronto, about 2 hours from Ottawa. On our way up here from Detroit, we spent the first night in London, the second night here in Renfrew, both at Best Westerns. Now, we like Best Westerns because they like off-roaders and motorcyclists, two of our favorite forms of transportation. Now let's get back off-road.
Here's a sight we saw frequently with the Ontario off-roaders. A quick stop to pick up trash left by others who don't seem to understand that the idea is to leave no trace of having been in the forest other than tracks on the trail.
This is the second Canadian trail to be named an outstanding trail. We had Whipshaw last year, now Quinn Trail this year. We started the Outstanding Trail program about 3 years ago. Initially we were thinking about nominating and naming trails, but the more we thought about it, it was about the clubs themselves, the clubs that are keeping and preserving these trails. Obviously BF Goodrich has benefited a lot from selling tires to off-roaders, and we need to keep the trails alive. You guys fight the battle every day. So because of that, we partnered up with Tread Lightly and the United Four-Wheel Drive Associations to create this Outstanding Trails program, and it's been a great success. And we just want to recognize the Ottawa Valley Off-Roaders for their great work and the Quinn Trail with a check here for $4,000. Congratulations, Sean.
The Outstanding Trails program is a joint effort with United Four-Wheel Drive Associations, whose president, Wayne Groom, feels the campaign is vital to the future of the sport.
Absolutely, because it promotes responsible recreation. And by having, BFG involved, and we're proud to partner with Tread Lightly in this, it brings everybody together and heightens the awareness, as well as getting you folks out here to find out what it's about and what we do to recreate and what everyday people do.
Well, just to kind of wrap it up, if I'm a Jeeper and I like to go off-road, why do I need to join United Four-Wheel Drive?
Well, I urge you actually to join a local club, and local clubs join associations, and I encourage all individuals to join United Four-Wheel Drive Associations, because all of it is in terms of building out the organization. And once again, and that organization, we've got to come together. There's a lot of folks, a lot of organizations that are very well organized, very well funded, and these folks are trying to take the trails away from us. And we all need to get together, and in a social aspect and in an active aspect, to support our counter to that.
Well, behavior on the trails is the most important thing, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is. And part of what this club, Ottawa Valley Off-Roaders, do, as well as United Four-Wheel Drive and all organizations, is we promote education. So we get somebody who's new to the hobby, bring them out and educate them on not only the way to build up their vehicle, but maybe how to use it properly and in a safe fashion, as well as all the equipment that goes along with it.
Wayne encourages all four-wheelers to join a local club and support responsible trail use. We'll be back with more Ride to Adventure right after this. If you wonder if being a member of a club is any fun or not, listen to what these folks had to say.
Yeah, are you a member of the Ottawa Valley Off-Roaders?
Yes, I'm a member. I'm the treasurer and the membership coordinator.
I see. So does he spend a lot of time working on trails?
He does.
And do you help him?
I do.
You do? And do you like it?
I like it a lot.
Oh, that's good. Do you drive sometime too?
Not at all.
He doesn't scare you?
No. I trust him.
So how was your trail experience today?
It was great. It was incredible. Never broke anything. Everything was great. But we broke it after until we came back. A recreational run afterwards.
You might say I'm the senior of the club, and the thing that appeals to me most is the closeness to nature. Now, you might think it's a little bit odd that I use a vehicle to get close to nature, but anything that gets me close to nature I do, including ATVing, canoeing, kayaking, a lot of swimming in wild lakes, which I seek out on purpose to do that. So it's just another one of those things. I love wheeling, but I also love being close to nature.
We do a picnic every year for the family. We do these family camping events where the kids are allowed. It's not just about the wheeling, it is about the family.
Do you recommend this as a big family operation?
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun. The kids have fun. They're outdoors all day. They love it. As you can see them running around. They love it. They'll crash tonight. It'll be all good. So, yeah.
It was big rocks, big hills.
Yeah.
On the road there was, my dad was thinking about engines and he ran into a tree.
He ran into a tree?
Yeah, he ran into a tree which had a bee nest in it.
Uh-oh.
And then it stung the person right behind us, Adrian. And
this was today?
Yeah, this was today. Coming back from the trail.
Did it hurt the car?
Right here, and I don't see a dent, so no, it didn't.
So what was he doing then? He ran into a tree?
He was thinking about engines.
True enough, I was daydreaming a little bit on the way back. It was completely accidental, and I was daydreaming about a new engine because my engine had just begun to overheat. It got rather warm, and it's about a 1979. It's been run hard many years, that engine. So I must admit, my attention span, it was a long, hot, dusty day out there today. It was starting to drift a little, and then I've got one wheel that's really quite bent. From some hardcore rock crawling, and if you don't pay attention all the time, it'll get squirrely on you sideways, and so we did bump a tree on the side a little bit. Apparently it had a bee's nest in it.
Yes.
The guys behind us were not impressed.
No.
We just kept going.
Wake up.
By the way,
The camera's watching you.
Mitchell says he wants to be a lawyer in the military and drive in demolition derbies when he grows up.
Are we ready? Let's hit the trail. Well, there's no doubt that the Twin Trail is one of the most scenic and challenging that we've seen. Before you go off-roading, it's important to familiarize yourself with your vehicle and off-roading technique. And when you go into the backcountry, always travel with two vehicles. You never know when you're going to need a tow. Our thanks to the Ottawa Valley Off-Roaders, Jeep, BF Goodrich, and Best Western for helping us with the production of this program. For Ride to Adventure, I'm Bill Baker. See you next time.